But I think the question becomes for me, we know that you're coming to the Black community now that things are tough for you, but were you coming to the Black community when the community really needed you to use your celebrity weight to help elevate the community on very important issues? And so let me kind of some of you just came in, so let me kind of reframe this real quick, or give you a quick summary here. Basically, Gabrielle Union and Orlando Jones. I'm trying to pull up the articles again. Sorry if you guys are watching on drboycetv.com. I literally came in and then I hit a button and I lost you guys, and so I don't even know if the notifications are going to go out. I have no idea. But I just reloaded it to go live again in case you guys were still hanging out, because I'm all over the place right now with my technology. I got to get my lighting set up and all that stuff. But anyway, so Orlando Jones got fired from his show American Gods. Gabrielle Union got fired from America's Got Talent. They both have the same dispute with the same production company. I'm going to read some of this to you from Yahoo. Do me a favor, shout out the city that you're from in the chat so I know where you're coming from. Let's see. It says Gabrielle Union supported Orlando Jones after the actor went public with claims he was fired from American Gods. Jones, who plays a fan favorite Mr. Nancy on the Star Show, said new showrunner Charles Egley wasn't bringing the character back for season 3 because he felt it sent the wrong message for Black America. In a fiery post, the actor also called out production company Fremantle, which has been in the headlines lately as it's one of the producers of America's Got Talent. Union says she was fired from AGT after voicing concerns about toxic culture on set. In an interview with Variety, the actor revealed Union privately reached out to him over after publicly offering her support on social media Friday. So here he says they treated you like a second-class citizen for doing your job too well. That's it. That's Orlando Jones's concern. Now I'm going to ask you guys a yes or no question real quick. Give me a yes or no. Yes or no. Let's find common ground with Gabrielle and Orlando. Let's see where we are. How many of you, give me a yes or no in the chat on this question. How many of you have ever had a job where you felt that you were a victim of workplace discrimination? How many of you have ever had a job where you felt that you were treated badly because you're Black? Give me a yes or no. Yes or no. Have you ever had a job where you felt that being Black was a liability, where being Black led to a penalty, where being Black led to you getting fired on your day off? You had to watch Becky get the promotion that you deserved. You saw Tom and Tom and the white guys doing something, you did the same thing, and they got away with it. You got punished. How many of you have gone through that? Okay, I see a lot of yeses in here. I see from Kevin and Tanya and Mark and Tim and Celius and Tiff and Carl and Bianca. She ran herself fit, says last week. Wow. Okay, and I actually know that sister. The sister's name is Felicia. How you doing, Felicia? Okay, all right. So let me ask you this. Give me another yes or no. How many of you feel that after the incident took place, that justice was served? Yes or no? Do you feel that justice was served? Do you feel that somebody came along and made it right? Do you feel that you were compensated properly for what you went through? Did somebody rectify the situation on your behalf? Give me a yes or no. Give me a yes or no. Do you feel that you got justice? Okay, I see Marquise and JM says no. Craig, no. 80 Ward says yes. Good for you. She ran herself fit, says nope. Tashia says no. Focus 69 says no. Okay, so all right. So I've asked you these yes or no questions because I like to make it plain. I like to lay it out there so everybody can, so even a fifth grader can get it. Now, so I want to ask you this last question then. Yes or no? Do you think that the American workplace, have white people proven to you that in the workplace, Black people are going to be treated differently from everybody else? Yes or no? Are you convinced that with most corporations in America, most of which are run by other people, that Black people are not going to get a fair shot? Yes or no? Seth says no. Okay. Do you feel that Black people are going to be treated differently because they're Black? Have they proven that to you? Sunshine says no. Okay, hell no. Okay, no, meaning you won't get treated the same. Okay. Yes, they've proven it to you. Have white folks proven to you that they're racist? to make you sort of concerned about what's going on in America? Or do you think that they need to show you more evidence that they don't like your black ass? Like, how many of you feel that they've proven to you time and time again that they are clearly biased against you? All right. Why did I ask you those questions? I asked you those questions because here's what happens a lot of times. And this isn't even me. I totally get what Orlando is saying. I totally get what Gabrielle's saying. I totally get it. But here's the thing. It's far too often that I'll see somebody go through a racist situation, and they act like they're the first one to ever experience this. They act like it's the worst injustice committed against mankind since slavery. You know, they really act like they're Kunta Kinte and Nat Turner, and that they got lynched and tarred and feathered and castrated in public. I had a colleague back in Syracuse, and I remember talking to the colleague and saying, we're all black, we need to stick together. And this particular colleague went out of her way to tell me, I don't agree. I don't want to be seen as the lady who hangs out only with black people. Like, literally, that's what I was told. Like, I don't want to be seen as I only hang out with black people, because she thought, believed that if she did what she was supposed to do and didn't cause no trouble, that she would get treated as well as if she were white. In fact, she was biracial. And years later, she comes to me, and now me, I've always been me. I might be an ass, but I'm a consistent ass. I might be stupid sometimes, but I've been consistently stupid. I might be the big jerk at times to some people. Some people may think I'm just a big blowhard, but I've been consistent with it. You can go back 25 years and check my record, homie. I've been the same guy since I was 25. I'm just a smarter version and an older version of who I was when I was 25 years old. So I was very consistent. So I pretty much kind of fired myself. I knew when I took that job that it was a ticking clock. It was only a matter of time before something went wrong. I knew it was only a matter of time before my commitment to being consistently black was going to conflict with their commitment to being consistently white. I know America's history. I walked in the door eyes wide open. I didn't need to get woke, because I came in woke. I came in with my eyes open. I had not taken the sleeping pills before I walked through the door. I actually took the no-dose, which keeps you awake. I came in like this, ready, right? So when they came with it, when white folks started acting white, when they came with that, well, Boyce, we're a little concerned about this racial stuff that you're doing on CNN. Like when those meetings came, I'm like, yeah, I've been waiting for you. I figured you'd be coming at some point. I figured at some point you would come along and tell me that there was something wrong with being too black. I wasn't surprised, right? Whereas the other lady, the one who told me that I was being too radical and I was too paranoid and whatever, she comes to me 5 years later when they finally started basically stringing her ass up looking for help. And I'm like, oh, now you want to come hang out with the radical Negro, now that this whole being white thing ain't working out for you. Now that they've let you know your place, now you want to go kick it in the gutter with Boyce, the guy who's been looking for allies for years, but could not find any, because we got too many black people thinking that if you let this racial thing go, that they're going to treat you like you're the same. Right? I'm not trying to encourage anybody to be cynical. I'm just encouraging people to become more realistic. Why does this relate to Gabrielle Union and Orlando Jones? Well, a lot of Negroes go out to Hollywood and they really start getting into this whole like being white thing. You go look at their team. They take a picture with their team, and their whole team is like Becky and Sally and Joseph Whippenstein and Andrew Karklowski, and they've got all these people. They're surrounded by. Did anybody ever see that picture where Sierra and Russell, whatever's facing the quarterback that plays for the Seahawks, they went and signed with one of those management teams out in California, a CAA or something. They took a picture with their whole team. Their whole team was white. I don't think there was a black person in the room except for them. So I said, oh, wow. It's like they might as well be a roast pig hanging on a stick. And they're like, we about to eat good off of these Negroes because Russell got $130 million contract. I'm getting 5%. I want 2%. Save me a thigh. Cut me off a piece of the leg, right? That's what it looks like to me in my mind. That's what I see, because I see financial stuff, economics. I see capitalism in a visual way that other people don't see it. So I'm like, they eating off your black ass. And the minute they can't eat off you no more, and you're reduced down to skin and bones, and they're going to throw out the carcass and find somebody else to feast off of. But here's the thing. You've been invited to dinner and you think that you're actually there to eat too. You've been invited to dinner and don't even know that you're actually the meal. See, because a lot of these people go out to LA, they get big and famous, and then they think they don't want to be around black people anymore. They don't want to work with black people. They don't think that a black person is good enough to be their lawyer or their manager, their agent, their accountant. I'm not saying that everything got to be black, and I ain't saying you got to be all black all the time every day, but God, I mean, you can at least try, God damn it. Seriously. You know, I mean, really, I remember sitting there, and I was sitting with a guy in LA. He'd made some money. He'd done some, I forgot what he did, made movies or something. And he knew a couple other guys that were real famous. And they were talking about like financial stuff. And one guy was like, oh man, I've got this great Jewish accountant that you're going to love. And another guy's like, really? What's her name? And not one time, and I'm listening to these brothers talk. And I use the word brother loosely because I'm sitting there like, y'all did nobody even say like, well, maybe there's a black accountant out there we can hire. And I think somebody said, did you ever think about getting a black accountant? And they're like, oh, well, you know, you ain't got, if you're getting the best people, they ain't got to be black. I mean, yeah, but a lot of times the best people are black. You just overlook them because you're aiming for other people. You know, so where am I going with this? The reason I told you that story about the colleague I had at Syracuse who suddenly wanted to be black and wanted to come kick it with me once the shit hit the fan, she's coming to me for help, is because that's what some of these celebrities do. And I'm not saying Gabrielle and Orlando are in this category because I don't know these two. But, you know, they people will go off and live in La La Land. You have issues out there. Like black people on the internet will be screaming and hollering about atrocities occurring in their communities. Oprah trying to string black men up, you know, every opportunity she gets. You know, all these other people, and we're out here. You know, somebody so got shot in her own house. Black men can't get jobs, and we're screaming and hollering about this on the internet. And the celebrities are sitting in La La Land, quiet as a damn mouse, ain't got a word to say. Don't want to say nothing because they scared of getting fired. They don't want to fall out of the good graces of white Hollywood. It's racism, y'all. They mistreating us, y'all. We need help, y'all. We got to stick to getting $1 a year job, right? Seriously, I'm not saying that people don't deserve, support. I'm not saying that that there's not an issue here. I know there's an issue here. In fact, I have no doubt there's an issue here. I've been dealing with white folks since I was born. I know what happens in these jobs. But if you want to know why, I go out of my way to literally, without the stuttering, to tell the black man that your only solution for freedom is to have your own business. If you want to know why I say, without just stuttering, that black people must come together and own our own sports leagues. If you want to know why I come out here every other day without stuttering, sometimes I do it 5 times a day, and tell black people that we must build our family wealth mechanisms that allow us to deviate from this existing white supremacist system, it's because I know these things happen every day. And I know Orlando Jones and Gabrielle Union have big platforms, and their injustice is going to dwarf your injustice. But I'm sorry. They got to get to the back of the line, man, because I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about what you going through at your job at UPS, where they pushing you out because you said something that they thought was a little bit too black. I'm talking about you working, over at Applebee's, where you can't get a job, you can't get the promotion to manager because they gave it to Becky instead of you because they just think that blonde hair and blue eyes is more attractive. I'm thinking about you. I'm not really thinking about somebody who clocked $5 million in income last year. That I'm sorry. Well, that's what you signed up for. That's what you did. Like seriously, like when OJ got in all that crazy trouble, it was like, well, OJ, I mean, you ain't been black since 1965, so why are you gonna try to be black now? Like you just this whole being white thing was working out for you, wasn't it, buddy? Like go back to that. Seriously. So I think it goes back to what Byron Allen made this point on the Breakfast Club, and I agree with it. He said something about celebrities being afraid of being blackballed. And I agree with him when he said that you were blackballed the day you were born. You just never got the email. You have been blackballed since you were a baby. You are a blackballed before you walk in the door. So when folks in Hollywood come along and they act so surprised that they got treated like they were black, I kind of giggle a little bit. I'm like, oh, they got you, huh? They got you. Or when I see other things that kind of bother me is when I see like Colin Kaepernick sitting there begging the NFL to let him back in. And not one single conversation, not one single public discourse has been had amongst all these black millionaires about starting a black-owned sports league so that you can save future generations all the trauma that comes from having to basically debilitate yourself and embarrass and humiliate yourself by begging white people for something. And there's not one public conversation I've seen about this. Not one. All these millionaire Negroes walking around on their knees. You 7 foot tall and you on your knees. So you looking like a midget right now because you too scared to stand up. You too scared to make a sacrifice for future generations. The NFL was started with people that had a few $100s in their pocket. The Chicago Bears were purchased for less than $500. And 2 generations later, they were worth $3 billion. Just a couple of generations down the line. So I am really just kind of disturbed and appalled by the lack of vision that I see amongst many of our black celebrities. Unfortunately, many of our black celebrities are high-paid slaves. And then when the slavery thing doesn't work out, they come out and they talk about, oh, black power, we want justice. This ain't right. They treat us like second-class citizens. I'm like, of course they're treating you like a second-class citizen because you're not going to go into another man's house and be treated like you're a member of the family. You can't come in my house that I own, where I pay the bills, and get equal treatment to my daughters. Sorry, you're somebody else's child. You're not my child. So no, my daughter is going to get her bed first. And if there's room for you, then I'll let you in. If there's no room for you, then you're going to have to go home. Seriously. Or you ain't going to get to sleep with my woman. That's my woman upstairs. You don't get to sleep in the master bedroom. That's my bedroom upstairs. If we have room for you in the basement, we might let you sleep in the basement because in this house, because you don't live here, you are a second-class citizen. Let's not get that twisted. I'm going to treat you well. If we have food, I'm going to feed you. If we got space, I'm going to let you rest. If you don't cause too much trouble, then you might be able to stay for a day or two. But the minute the food runs low, you got to go. The minute we don't have space, you sleeping outside. The minute that you cause trouble and you raise your voice up in here and you start talking to me, you buck up on me, then I'm gonna show you the door. And so when white folks have their businesses, I know y'all want to get mad because you were fed a lie. You were fed an integrationist lie that somehow there would come a day, maybe somebody thought that they when they misinterpret Dr. King's dream, they tell you that one day there's going to be a day where little white boys and little black girls going to be holding hands or whatever it was that they said, and they're gonna treat you like you're one of them, like you're a member of the family, and that day ain't coming. It ain't never coming. So when Orlando says, well, it ain't right, they treat us like second-class citizens. Well, of course you're a second-class citizen. You're an employee, motherfucker. You don't own the company. That ain't your business. You ain't man enough. You weren't man enough to go out there and put down the capital necessary to start the LLC that built that empire. That ain't yours. You, my brother, are the help. It's okay to be the help. I'm not dissing Orlando on any level. I'm not. I'm just saying y'all ain't equally yoked. And whoever told you that this about this equality myth, they was lying to you. They were lying to you. do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that right now. Please hit the thumbs up button and the notification bell. Also, if you want to hear financial news and commentary from a Black perspective on a daily basis, we have a Black-owned, we own our own shit. A Black, I don't mean to cuss today, but sometimes I get fired up. We have a Black-owned financial channel at theblackfinancialchannel.com. I hope you will subscribe. We give you commentary on the stock market, on business news, all kinds of stuff every single day. So I hope that you'll join us at theblackfinancialchannel.com. Mike Roberts Jr., the son of billionaire Mike Roberts, actually wants to come in and be a regular contributor as well. So if you want to understand the game and how all this stuff works, join theblackfinancialchannel.com. Also, later on today, if you're watching today on 12/18, if you're watching later, that's fine too. You can probably go watch the recording. But today at 2:15 p.m. Eastern, I've got Nuri Muhammad coming on drboycetv.com, and brother Nuri Muhammad is going to give you the Nation of Islam's perspective on who killed Malcolm X. I do not speak as if I know the exact answer to this question. I will listen with an open mind. I have infinite love for the Nation of Islam and Louis Farrakhan. That ain't never going to change, no matter what people think, one way or the other. In fact, the Nation of Islam is doing security in my wedding, which is happening in July. But I told Brother Nuri, I reached out to him. I said, hey, man, you know, you did a great defense, you laid out a great argument in terms of the Malcolm X things that the public did not know. If you'd like to come into the channel to talk about it, you're welcome. He is going to grace us with his presence. So I look forward to having Brother Nuri on today at 2:15 p.m. Eastern time. So if you'd like to come check that out and just hear it, about what happened, or again, it's one point of view. Now let's make that clear. But I'd like for you guys to hear that so you can make your own decision. But I'm gonna tell you what my decision is when it comes to Malcolm. I just have to be honest with you guys. Honestly, I don't care that much. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean I'm not curious. But I just love them both. Like you can't make me unlove Louis Farrakhan. You can't make me unlove Malcolm X. That just isn't going to happen. So whatever people say, whatever stories come out, I hear them all. I like to take it all in because I like to understand the landscape. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop loving them both. That's just, but you can think different. That's okay. It's your right to do that. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. So the last thing I would throw out here is this. When I see something like what Gabrielle Union's sort of complaining about with America's Got Talent, I think she has a great point. When I see what Orlando Jones is complaining about with his show American Gods and the production company, I forgot the name of the production company. Let me see. I think it's what's the company called? Well, I know the showrunner's name is Charles Egley. And let me see the production. Fremantle is the name of the production company that they're accusing of racial discrimination. And that's fine. He says, so here's what he says. He says, this is exactly what Gabrielle's describing. He said, I'm literally trying to save you from yourself because you got these characters here and you don't want to do anything for them. But then you want to say that you care about the LGBTQ plus community. So help me understand what my role here is. How am I your enemy? And that's how Gabrielle felt. Okay, I don't know if Orlando's character is part of the LGBTQ plus community. I'm going to go research that. Does anybody know? Let me know if you even watch the show American Gods. This character that he's talking about, Mr. Nancy. Mr. Nancy, that right there sounds like it might be, it could theoretically be LGBTQ plus. And this is not anti anything. I just want to try to understand what the deal is. Somebody tell me what's going on with this character. Why does he mention the LGBTQ community in this conversation? Let's see here. Somebody says his character is a Nancy. I've watched it. Nancy is short for Anansi. He's the Nigerian spider god. Okay. Is the character is it a feminine character? Is that what it is? I don't know. I haven't checked it out. The show got super weird. It's an African god. Okay. It's not. Okay, I wasn't sure. I don't know why he's bringing up the LGBTQ plus community. That's why I'm asking that, because the reason I bring that up is because what you often see with Black celebrities is that, they go off to Hollywood and they start caping for every issue except Black people. Like they don't really go hard for things that are clearly 100% Black. It'll be something related to, like Gabrielle was complaining about something that involved something she heard she felt was discriminatory toward Asians. I'm not saying that the Asian communities don't matter, but Asian people have Asian people to fight for Asian issues. They don't need us to save them. Like, I don't get why, you're risking losing your job because you're speaking up on an Asian issue, because I don't see a lot of Asians really fighting that hard for Black people and what's happening in Black communities. No disrespect. It's just, that's what I don't see. Second thing, the LGBTQ plus sort of thing, I don't know why that even factors into the conversation. I think that one of the challenges that you have, one of the reasons that your community suffers, is because the most powerful people in your community have kind of forgotten you. They don't really push hard on the issues that really matter for Black people. If you want to know what these simple solutions are in terms of what would actually empower the Black community, it would be basic things like this. We talk about how the public schools don't educate Black children. Well, why are we letting Black children get educated by white schools anyway? Why can't Black people educate Black children? Why don't we put a couple $1 billion into a fund that supports independent Black schools? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Do you think that we have enough Black educators in our community to educate Black children? Yes or no? Do you think that we have enough Black educators in our community to educate Black children? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Do you think that we have enough Black educators that if we had the money to fund independent Black schools, no intrusion, our values, our systems, our processes, do you think that we have enough educators to do this? Okay, somebody said no. I see Marquis says yes. Barbara says yes. Next Level says yep. Space Jones says yes. Okay. I will tell you, I know for a fact that we do. I know for a fact that we do. We have tons of Black educators and we can train more. The problem is that the funding isn't there because they give all the funding to white people to educate Black children, because you think that white people educating your kids makes them better. It doesn't make them better. It makes them whiter. It also doesn't make them stronger. It makes them weaker. It doesn't make them Blacker. It makes them watered down, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't need more people with Black bodies. We need people with Black minds, and Black minds come from development within the Black community. For example, why is it that your children go to school and they know more about George Washington than they know about Marcus Garvey? I bet you that if you ask a Black child who's George Washington, they can tell you. Even the dumbest kid in the room can tell you who George Washington was. But if you ask them who's Marcus Garvey, even the smartest Black kid in the classroom might not be able to tell you who Marcus Garvey is. So why in the hell are you sending your child to a school system that will teach them about a slave master before they teach them about a slave liberator? What in the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And what is wrong with our celebrities when they don't support or fund any of that? I'm sorry, celebrities. When you tell me about your problems on your $3 million, $5 million a year job, that means nothing to me, because when I reach out and I do the call and I say, hey, the Black Business School, we'd love to raise $10 million so we can teach entrepreneurial skills to 1 million Black men across the country, y'all motherfuckers don't want to pick up the phone. I'm not mad. I'm not hating. I'm not saying, I need y'all's money or anything like that. We're getting it in. We're getting it done. We went to Africa this week and we did research on how we're going to connect and wire into business in the diaspora to fund the global initiatives that we have to strengthen Black economic standing throughout the world. We've already got a plan for that. But I will make it 100% abundantly clear that in this plan, the Black celebrity in Hollywood is persona non grata. Black people in Hollywood are not on the agenda at all. They don't even know what the Black agenda is supposed to be. They think the Black agenda is getting everybody to go out and vote for Nancy Pelosi, or not Nancy Pelosi. They're all the same to me. Whatever that lady's name, not Nancy Pelosi, the other one that they think is, I forgot her name. I forget the candidates. I don't even have their names in my head. You got Buttigieg and Joe Biden and the other, what I'm talking about, Elizabeth Warren. That's her name. I said Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth, Nancy, Becky, all the same person pretty much, right? But seriously, like, that's what they think a Black agenda is. No, a Black agenda is an independent Black school system where we've got 5,000, 10,000 schools across the country funded by Black people that educate Black children to be the best Black people that they can be, so that they will come back and use their strength for the Black community. That's called nation building, in case you did not know. The Black agenda is the development of 1,000 entrepreneurial centers so that all these young Black boys around the country are learning as much about running their own businesses as they are learning about how to play football and how to play basketball. That's what a Black agenda is. If Black boys were as good at starting businesses as we are at throwing footballs and dribbling basketballs for white people, we would have no economic problems. We would be the economic leaders of the world. We would become in the world what the Jews are right now. The only difference is we will be stronger because our population size in the United States is 6 times greater. right? So let's just be clear. A black agenda is getting black people to buy black as much as possible so we can redirect that 1.3 trillion in investing power back into the community so those dollars circulate, so that then we don't have to ask a white man's permission in order for us to have a show. You ain't got to go get on your knees like a Kaepernick and beg the NFL to let you back in. You ain't got to be Gabrielle Union and get mad because a white man fired you from your job, because you own the network, you own the sports league, you own all the teams in the league, you own all the businesses connected to the league, you own not just the network, you own all the shows on the network. Everything's black, 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 black. And at that point, there's no overseer that you have to go and complain about because you feel that they treated you like you're a second-class citizen. Well, the reason, Mr. Orlando Jones, my brother, I love you so much, but I'm going to tell you this. The reason that they treat you like a second-class citizen is because in their world, you are. You're getting treated like a second-class citizen because that is what you are, because you're in his house. When you're in another man's house, you are not the man of the house. In my house, there cannot be two men of the house. I am the man of this house, and any man in this house will never be the man of my house, ever. Do you get what I'm saying? Are you hearing me? That is your problem. That's what you're up against. You're up against not a lack of opportunity. You're not up against a lack of resources. You're up against a lack of vision. You're up against a lack of courage. You're up against a lack of organization. And you have been disillusioned into this idea that you can spend your life being high-paid employees and somehow get treated like you the boss. So Gabrielle Union runs in there flipping her hair, acting like she the boss, telling everybody what to do, and then they shut her ass down. She gets the pimp slap, and she's like, "How can you do this to me? This isn't right. You can't do this to me. I'm the boss." No, you're not. That ain't your show. What do you? If you want to know, if you want to know if you're the boss, then just ask yourself, what do I own? If the answer is nothing, if you own nothing in that process, if I come into your business and you own the business, and I'm serving you, you're the boss, not me. You're the boss, not me. Now, Gabrielle's going to be fine. She's got money in the bank. Again, these are millionaire problems. People just tend to leverage the black community whenever it's convenient. They come to black people when they need something. We're kind of like their political side chicks, right? So they come to us when somehow this, whole being white thing doesn't work out for them, and they need us to get behind a rallying cry. Like, does anybody remember? Jersey J says, "I love you, Boyce Watkins, no homo." That's so funny. I love you too, brother. No homo. But I'm playing. I love you too, man. Thank you very much. I love all of you very much. And I appreciate you even hearing my point of view. Even if you don't agree, I hope I can say things and still be loved, because I'm gonna love you regardless of what you think. But I'd say that the big challenge is that we just are misled into the way we perceive America to be what it actually is. Like, we think America is something other than what it is. We don't understand what power actually looks like. We don't understand what economic warfare looks like. We don't understand the nature of oppression, because you're oppressed. When you're oppressed, the oppressor does not want you to understand the nature of the oppression, because that's giving you the secret sauce. So an oppressor will never build an educational system or media outlets or any sort of system that will train oppressed people to understand the nature of their oppression and how to overcome that oppression. I had to go outside that system to understand how to defeat the system. So, at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's no disrespect to Gabrielle Union or Orlando Jones. They're going to be fine. I want you to be fine, and that's my truth, and that's what I'm laying out here. So I'm gonna go. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button. Also, for Christmas, another way to empower yourself is don't just buy your children toys. Please buy them shares of stock. if you, how many of you have already started investing in the stock market on some level? Give me a yes or no if you are a stock market investor. I don't want you just coming to my platform to be entertained or to have a good show. Thank you, Ali, for your donation, brother. I appreciate that very much. Yes or no? Are you a stock market investor? Have you started investing stock? Have you started buying even a couple dollars worth, a few dollars worth, whatever? Give me a yes or no. Okay, Black Page, Elizabeth, I see you. I see you, John. I see Vanessa Jones and Benson. All right, I'm seeing a lot of yeses coming through. I'm not seeing so many no's. That's good. If you're a no, that's okay. Put a no in there. Not yet. Okay, I see a not yet in there. So it's okay. It's okay, Keith. It's hard if it's not yet. Here's what I want you to do, right? This will help my conscience because I want to feel like you benefited from being here on this platform and listening to me. So what I want you to do is I want you to either go on your Cash App. On Cash App, you can buy shares of stock on Cash App, and take my word for it. Just buy consistently. It doesn't matter really, honestly, what you buy. Just start buying consistently on your Cash App or on Robinhood, Acorns, or Stash. And just do that consistently, and you're by doing that, you're moving your family, your future generations into another wealth bracket. I guarantee it. If you do it consistently, you're moving them to a different wealth bracket. And also, so next time you come back, I want you to be able to tell me that you're investing, that you're making moves for your family. The other thing is, when Christmas comes, don't just buy your kids toys. Toys last about 6 months before the kids stop playing with them. Get them some shares of stock too. And just buy them consistently and just own them and let them sit there. And what will happen is that by the time your child gets to be 20, 21, 22 years old, they're not going to have the same problems that a lot of millennials have now. A lot of millennials are broke. A lot of millennials are shut down from student loan debt. By sort of us talking about this, I can help you kind of overcome a lot of that because I understand these things. Finance is what I understand very, very well. I'm among the best in the world at this. So I want to make sure I help you guys do something better with your lives. Okay. So last but not least, if you like the platform and you want to help us grow the media outlet, which that's what we're doing, we really conquered Ghana. I mean, I did a couple videos on Ghana, and I'm finding people are stopping me in the streets in Ghana saying, "Oh, I saw your video about Ghana," right? So we're actually making moves not just in the U.S. but also in parts of Africa. We have an office in South Africa and Botswana that we're opening up as well. So we're actually going to really push out into the diaspora as an investment strategy in terms of reaching as many of our people and forming as much of a connection as we can. And so if you want to help us do this, we'd love for you to join our tribe of intelligent Black people. It's not a donation. It's a trade. We give you free stuff and discounts, and you give us some support every month. And if you'd like to be a part of that, please go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. Also, we've got a seminar coming up very, very soon on a couple of things. Dr. Claude Anderson is doing some stuff. He's doing a master class with the Black Business School very soon, and we've got some other things going on. One on how to get into the hotel industry, how to buy hotels, things like that. So if you're interested in anything that's going on there, go to drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars.com. Okay, guys, so I'm out of here. Please hit the thumbs up button and the notification bell and subscribe button before you go. Very important to do that. And I'm out of here, guys. My daughter's 6 years old, and she asks every Sunday, "How is my stocks doing?" Oh man, see, you watch. Mark my words, brother. In about 20 years, your daughter will be very different from other children. I've seen it a million times. Your daughter, what you think is a little thing, is going to be huge for her when she's in her 20s. She won't be running around struggling, talking about I'm broke and it's hard being Black and I don't know where to get $100. She's going to be in a whole different tax bracket, brother. I promise you. And she's going to reach back and give you props for doing that the same way I give props to my late grandmother, rest her soul, for introducing me to savings bonds and compound interest when I was exactly your daughter's age. So I say that publicly because I want y'all to hear this, because some of y'all got little ones around you, and that's how we're going to win this war. We win this war by building little economic soldiers who are going to know the game better than white folks do and going to go out and kick the world in its ass. That's because economics is warfare, and I want your children to join the army. Okay, guys, so I'm out of here. Have a good day. It's great seeing you, and I'll talk to you soon. Be good. Peace.